All right, big nights. Lane Speaker, Colby Rich, Cam moving on. Gentlemen, a tough battle, but you guys are once again in a state quarterfinal. Just what's going through your mind right now?
I'm just happy right now. I mean, they came to play, and we knew that, and some of our emotions were getting high, so we're going to have to keep that to ourselves next game. But just proud of the guys. The line did a hell of a job. Colby and Cade and Joe did a hell of a job. We just kept making plays, and first half was a little iffy, but second half we definitely came to play like we can.
I think we're all extremely happy, but we're not satisfied. I mean, we've been here the last 2 years, and we've just come up short both those years.
What was it that clicked in the second half for you guys? I mean, they kind of had you stifled in the first half. You come out, obviously, I'm sure the big play to start kind of helped.
Yeah, the big play just gave us some momentum right out of halftime, but, I mean, our line just started really getting a push, and we started getting some really so our blocking became really good, and we were all together, and it just all came together at once.
Take us through that touchdown there to start the second half. What did you see from your angle of it?
I saw a lot of green. There was nobody on that side of the field. Everybody did a really good job of selling the fake, and I just was lucky enough to have open field in front of me.
Lane, you had a big night, obviously, but it doesn't happen without the guys up front. I'm going to give you a chance to brag about them a little bit. Who were some of the guys paving the way?
Nolan Hensley, Reese Oglesby, Gavin Jessen, Colby, Cade, Joe, Sam Form, all those guys. They're amazing. I mean, they make it pretty easy on me, especially when I don't get touched half the time until halfway down the field. I mean, obviously Fremont was doing a pretty good job, but we just kept paving the way. And first half, I think we were just trying to get a couple things figured out, and then once we got it figured out, we pretty much dominated. I mean, that first half score didn't do how much we dominated them.
What has it been like, you guys coming in, you're ranked like number 1, number 2, whatever it is, but you're going to get everybody's best shot. Talk about that a little bit this season. Obviously, you guys have succeeded with it.
Yeah, we just got to stay confident and keep our heads on because we can't pay attention to that stuff because that doesn't mean nothing. Because if we lose, we go home. It's winter. We got big goals in mind, so we just got to keep our heads on straight, keep our emotions down, and keep paving the way.
Some nice things from you in the passing department as well. So I know you played a little quarterback last year. You've transitioned more into that role this year. How do you feel you've grown there?
Especially with Coach Eden coming in, he's helped me a lot because we do a lot of things at practice. But I just feel like when I stay calm back there, I just let things happen. It's a lot better because Colby and all them guys, they find ways to get open and they make plays.
State quarterfinal coming up, gentlemen, against Newell Fonda, who beat Lennox tonight. I'm sure you guys don't know a ton about them, but what's the approach? What's it going to take?
I mean, we got to dominate up front just like every other game. We got to make it easy for Lane, and if we can control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat us.
Yeah, we'll figure out what we got to do because we don't know much on them. Like you said, I don't think we've ever played them. So, but like Colby said, we just got to keep dominating the line because when they make it easy for me, it opens things up for them too, and that's really hard to stop.
All right, Coach, you guys are moving on. That's obviously the most important thing. Just your thoughts.
Well, moving on. I just think, survive and advance, but I got to give my hats off to these guys. I mean, anytime you play a powerhouse or a, traditional powerhouse program, I mean, you got to make sure that you come to play. And we didn't quite feel that vibe there in the first half, but then once the second half started going, we kind of found a mojo a little bit more, and that's what was really special about our kids and making some plays and, kind of matching them toe for toe as far as that physicality.
They came in and their game plan was we're going to play keep away, and they did that in the first half. You guys are then able to get going in the second half. What was it that clicked?
Well, just the execution up front. I mean, they were loading the box a little bit, but I think we found our passing game, quite a bit, and I think that kind of loosened them up a little bit, worried about play action, as we go through it. But, anytime that you got a dynamic kid in lane and then you got some kids on the outside, I mean, you got to prepare for that too. So, there were some things that were very undisciplined for us defensively, that it just wasn't us, and they caught us a little bit as far as some of those balls over the top, and that was kind of frustrating a little bit. But I thought our kids really bounced back and made some adjustments.
Yeah, the kind of newfound, I don't want to say newfound, you guys have had some success passing this year, but Was that kind of an in-game adjustment tonight, or was that something that was an emphasis coming in?
No, it's always been there, to be honest with you. I mean, we've got a playbook that's a mile wide, just like any other coach does. It's just a matter we haven't had to kind of put it out there, but we've got some wrinkles up our sleeve. I mean, shoot, we had the underscreen, that went. We've had that in the playbook for a while. It's just a matter now we've got to have a chance to use that stuff when people start to make adjustments. Anytime that you get through the round of 16, anytime that you're playing a powerhouse like these guys, you're going to have to get into what you need to do, and that's what's coaching. That's what's making adjustments, and we're just very, very proud of our kids.
Second play of the second half, Lane finds Colby for a big score. How big was that just for you guys, not only to take the lead, but to maybe kind of settle in and feel like you could play your game in the second half?
Well, that's just about right. Just settle in and just make sure, okay, relax, you're going to be fine, as we go through it, because I think sometimes we play tense in that first half. Same thing, keep away, tense, okay, frustration, okay, let's just make sure that we play loose a little bit more, have some fun as we go through this process, because they executed. Then they executed and then we got Lane as far as, on a couple bounces and stuff like that, and anytime that you give that kid a crease, watch out.
Held them scoreless in the second half until late when they were able to kind of get a garbage time touchdown. What were you guys doing defensively that caused them some troubles?
Well, I think it was just a matter of matching them physicality up front. And when you can match them physicality up front, then your backers can make some plays. We can get some leverage as we go through it. They were doing some things as far as running some guys down the piper a little bit, but we were setting our front a little bit differently. And that's what was really frustrating, because we were making the mistakes on the field versus anything else. And when we set the front correct, then we'll be okay. And so that was just some adjustments that we had to make. But you know what? They're kids. They're gonna make some mistakes, but just set it, and then we'll adapt as far as what we can, because defensively we can match up with anything no matter where we go.
You guys are one win away from the first dome trip in school history. You've been in this spot the last 2 years. What do you feel you guys need to do on Thursday night?
Well, I think number one is just come out and have some fun, play relaxed, type of thing. Because number one is we've gone just as far as any other program here in KM history. So, I mean, we've matched it. Now, let's do something special. I think they felt last year as far as 30-28, to these guys. Well, how's that feel? Now let's keep it moving, let's keep it going, and see what we can do.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, last year, a heartbreaker to Fremont-Mills. Was that, any sort of talking point, or did it need to be this week?
Oh, yeah, absolutely it is. Whenever you play a team these guys are the state runners-up. They're the defending state runners-up for a reason. I don't care, because, number one, there are 3 losses. To us, to Audubon, to Lennox. Those are 3 good football teams as you go through it. This team is awesome. They're well coached. They got great players. I mean, they're physical up front, and I think that's one of the things is absolutely they're different than what they were as far as week 1 to what they are now today. And I think that's where the focus was, and we knew that coming in all week. It's just a matter that we just had to match them toe for toe.